Hello everybody, I'm going to discuss about method overloading. What do you mean by method overloading? Whenever any method is existing multiple times with the same name, different type of parameters, different number of parameters, and different order of parameters, then it is known as method overloading. And the scope of the overloading is within the class only. What is constructor overloading? Whenever any constructor is existing multiple times inside a class with a different number of parameters, different type of parameters, different order of parameters, it is known as constructor overloading. And what do you mean by overriding? Whenever the same method name is existing multiple times in the base and the derived class, with the same type of parameters, same number of parameters, and same order of parameters, then it is known as overriding. And this always can be done only with the methods only. Overriding can be done only with the methods only. Overriding concept cannot take place in the constructors because scope of the constructor is within the class only. So this always can be done only with the methods but not with the constructors. So whenever same method with the same signature is existing in both the base and the derived class, then first priority is given to the derived class method while calling the method with reference of the derived class object. So now I will show you the example for this method overloading and overriding. So this is an example for overloading. I'm taking one class adder. Inside that adder, I'm defining one static integer int add method of parameters int a comma int b. I'm returning a plus b and static double add of double a comma double b. I'm returning a plus b. Now see here, the method name is same, but uh, there are different type of parameters and different number of parameters and type of parameters are different. So this concept is known as overloading, and this takes place within a single class only. And then I have taken one main method and I am printing system.out.println adder.addout and passing 11 comma 11 and system.out.println adder.add of in the place of double A double B I am passing it as 12.3 and 12.6. We will see the output of this program. So first 11 plus 11, 22 will be printed. The next 12.3 plus 12.6. When adder.add of 11 comma 11 is invoked, the control, since it is a static method, the object is not created. The methods are directly invoked with the class name. So the control goes into this method first, then 11 plus 11, 22 is printed here. Then next, the control goes into this into the second method, and then 12.3 plus 12.6 is added, and it is printed as 24.9. Then next we'll see the what is method overriding. Overriding here I'm taking one class bank. Inside that I'm taking one int get rate of interest and returning 0. I'm creating one child class SBI extends bank. The method I'm defining as int get rate of interest and returning 8. I'm taking one more class ICICI extends bank int get rate of interest return 7. I'm taking one more class access extends bank int rate get rate of interest return 9. Then inside the main method, now here in the what is overriding here? Overriding means the same method is there and same type and number of parameters are not taken here, but same the signature and body of the method everything is same, and it takes place in different classes. So it is method overriding. So I'm creating an object for SBI, S equal to new SBI, and ICICI, I equal to new ICICI, Axis, A equal to new Axis. Then system.out.println, SBI rate of interest is S dot get rate of interest. Once S dot get rate of interest, the control goes into the SBI class. And this return 8 is printed here. The next control goes here into ICICI and return 7 is printed. The next control goes into Axis and 9 is printed. Then we'll see the output here. 8, 7 and 9 is printed. And this is about overloading and overriding. Next we'll see what is a super keyword. Now super is a keyword in Java which is used to differentiate the base class properties with the derived class properties. That is, super is used whenever inheritance is existing. That is, whenever inheritance is there, then only super keyword comes into existence. And it is used to differentiate the base class properties with the derived class properties. Whenever data members of base class and formal parameters of method or constructor of derived class is same, then the system gets into ambiguity. To overcome this problem, super can be used. And whenever we want to call constructor of the base class into constructor of the derived class, then super method can be used. And super method can be used at the method or the constructor level. Super dot or super method should be the first statement of the method or the signature. I'll show you this example for super keyword. Say first class person is taken, inside that int id string name, define a constructor person with parameters. This is a parameterized constructor. Int id and string name. And this dot id equal to id, this dot name equal to name. I have taken one child class emp extends person. Inside that float salary and constructor emp of parameters int id, string name and float salary. Then super of id comma name. So once the control goes into the main method, but first the object for this emp even is created here. Then the control goes into the emp constructor, and here super of id comma name is there. So once it sees the super of id comma name, the control goes into the parent class constructor, and the values are replaced here with this dot id and this dot name. This dot id and this dot name values are replaced here, and then the control comes back here, and this dot salary is taken as 45,000. And inside the event dot display, when you call event dot display, when you invoke the display method, control goes here, and id name and salary are printed. So we'll run this program. Okay, id name and salary are printed. This is about the super keyword. Next is the final keyword in Java. Now, what do you mean by final keyword? Final keyword can be used before a data member to make a variable as a constant. That is, if you use a final keyword before a data member or a variable, then it makes a variable as a constant. It cannot be varied or altered. Final data members cannot be varied or altered. And final keyword can be used before a class to restrict inheritance. That is, final class cannot be inherited. And final keyword can be used before a method to restrict overriding. That is, final methods cannot be overridden. And what a static final variable that is not initialized at the time of declaration is known as static blank final variable. That is, if a final variable is not initialized, then it is said to be as blank final variable. Then what is static final blank final variable? If a static final variable that is not initialized at the time of declaration is known as static blank final variable, and it can be initialized only in the static block. So I show this with the example. Final method and final class. So this is a class bike is defined. Inside that I'm applying final keyword to this run method, and I'm taking one more class, child class here. Final method extends bike and void run system.out.println running safely with 100 kmph. Inside the main method, I'm creating an object for this child class. I'm invoking the run method. Once I invoke the run method, we get a compile time error. Why? Because this final method cannot be overridden. So this is the example for final method. Next is final class. Here final class bike is taken. Final class bike is defined. Next, this is bike is a parent class, and next final class is the child class which extends bike. I'm defining a run method here. System.out.println running safely with 100 kmph. Inside the main method, I am creating an object for final class if equal to new final class. When I invoke the run method with the final class object, this you get a compile time error. Why? Because final class cannot be extended. So I conclude here and I'll continue in the next class. Thank you.